Beneath the waves lies a world more colorful, complex, and mysterious than most of us ever imagine: coral reefs. Often called the rainforests of the sea, these underwater ecosystems are home to nearly a quarter of all marine life. Yet they cover less than 1% of the ocean floor. But here's the twist: while they're bursting with life, coral reefs are also silently dying. So what makes these living structures so powerful, so beautiful, and so vulnerable? In this video, we'll explore the wonder, the science, and the urgent threats behind one of nature's greatest masterpieces: coral reefs. Coral reefs, the rainforests of the sea. Beneath the surface of the world's oceans lies a vibrant, bustling world filled with color, movement, and life. These are coral reefs, some of the most diverse and essential ecosystems on the planet. Often called the rainforests of the sea, coral reefs support nearly 25% of all marine life, despite covering less than 1% of the ocean floor. From their ancient origins to their current threats and future hopes, this is the story of coral reefs, counted down from 10 to 1. 10. Ancient architects of the ocean. Coral reefs have been around for more than 500 million years. Formed by tiny animals called polyps, these reefs build massive limestone structures over centuries. Each polyp secretes calcium carbonate, forming the hard skeletons that make up coral reefs. These underwater cities are not just beautiful, they're ancient, resilient, and have shaped marine ecosystems for millennia. Fossil records show how reefs have survived mass extinctions and changing climates. Their resilience is a testament to the power of life beneath the sea, evolving steadily over epochs. Some reef formations are so large they can be seen from space, living proof of nature's quiet engineering marvels. 9. A symphony of biodiversity. Despite their small footprint, coral reefs are home to a staggering variety of life. Fish, mollusks, sea turtles, sharks, and countless invertebrates find shelter and food in the nooks and crannies of the reef. This biodiversity rivals that of tropical rainforests, creating a complex food web where every species plays a role in maintaining balance. Coral reefs serve as nurseries for juvenile fish, breeding grounds for marine animals, and feeding stops along migratory routes. Scientists estimate that more than 1 million species may rely on coral reefs, many of which are yet to be discovered. Every square meter of coral reef might host dozens of species interacting in ways we are only beginning to understand, forming a delicate tapestry of marine life. 8. Nature's coastal shield. Coral reefs protect coastlines from erosion, storm surges, and tsunamis. Acting as natural barriers, they absorb wave energy and reduce the impact of storms. For millions of people living near coasts, coral reefs are not just marine wonders, they're critical for survival and security. Without reefs, coastal cities would face increased flooding, property damage, and loss of life. In many island nations, coral reefs are the first, and often only, line of defense against the power of the sea. Their importance in disaster prevention cannot be overstated. In places like the Philippines, studies show that reefs reduce wave energy by up to 97%, significantly lowering disaster risk for vulnerable communities. 7. The ocean's pharmacy. Coral reefs hold potential cures for diseases like cancer, arthritis, and bacterial infections. Marine organisms produce powerful chemicals to defend themselves, many of which have inspired modern medicine. Scientists continue to explore reefs in search of new pharmaceutical compounds that could change the future of healthcare. From anti-inflammatory agents to painkillers and antiviral compounds, the reef is a biological treasure chest. Coral reef biodiversity may one day hold the answers to some of humanity's most urgent medical challenges. Promising drugs such as cytarabine, used to treat leukemia, were developed from reef sponges, showing that these ecosystems might unlock life-saving treatments yet to be discovered. 6. Economic powerhouses. From tourism to fishing, coral reefs contribute billions of dollars to the global economy every year. Snorkelers, divers, and ecotourists flock to places like the Great Barrier Reef and the Maldives. Local communities rely on reefs for livelihoods, food, and cultural heritage, making them indispensable assets to both nature and humanity. Fishing industries depend on reefs for healthy fish stocks, while tourism provides employment and funding for conservation efforts. In some regions, coral reef tourism alone can account for a significant percentage of GDP. According to the World Resources Institute, coral reefs generate an estimated $375 billion each year through goods and services, showing how valuable they are to both local economies and global interests. 5. Underwater architects. Coral polyps. At the heart of every reef are coral polyps, tiny, tentacled animals related to jellyfish. These polyps live in colonies and build reefs over time by extracting calcium from seawater. They also form a symbiotic relationship with algae called zooxanthellae, which provide the coral with nutrients and vibrant color through photosynthesis. This partnership is delicate. Without the algae, corals cannot survive. Coral polyps are active mostly at night, extending their tentacles to catch microscopic plankton while their algae partners work during the day to produce energy from sunlight. The skeletal structures they leave behind create habitats for millions of organisms. And over centuries, build enormous reef systems stretching hundreds of kilometers. 4. A delicate balance. At risk. Coral reefs thrive in specific conditions: warm, clear, shallow waters with stable salinity. Even minor changes in temperature or pollution levels can cause stress. When corals are stressed, they expel their algae partners in a process called bleaching, turning ghostly white and becoming vulnerable to disease and death. Recovery is possible, but only if conditions return to normal quickly. If not, the coral dies, and the entire ecosystem that depends on it begins to unravel. Reefs can take decades or even centuries to rebuild after major bleaching events. The balance between coral growth and erosion is so fragile that once disturbed, it can take generations for reefs to recover their lost diversity and density. 3. Global warming and coral bleaching. Climate change is the greatest threat facing coral reefs today. Rising sea temperatures trigger mass bleaching events that leave reefs barren and lifeless. Ocean acidification, caused by increased carbon dioxide, further weakens coral skeletons, making recovery difficult. Without immediate action, many reefs may disappear within our lifetime. Major bleaching events in the past 2 decades have already devastated iconic reefs worldwide. If current trends continue, entire marine communities could collapse, affecting global food chains and economies. The 2016 bleaching event affected over 90% of the Great Barrier Reef, causing unprecedented damage that scientists fear may take centuries to repair. 2. Pollution, overfishing, and destruction. Beyond climate change, human activities like overfishing, coastal development, and pollution take a heavy toll. Plastic waste chokes marine life, while sunscreen chemicals damage coral DNA. Dynamite fishing and irresponsible tourism destroy reef structures, threatening entire ecosystems. Sediment from construction can smother coral colonies, and agricultural runoff introduces harmful nutrients into the water, encouraging the growth of algae that compete with corals for sunlight and space. Together, these threats place immense stress on reef ecosystems already pushed to their limits. The cumulative effect of these pressures is causing the slow death of reefs in many parts of the world, some of which may never return. 1. Hope. Through conservation and action. Despite the challenges, hope remains. Marine protected areas, coral farming, and restoration projects are helping damaged reefs recover. Sustainable tourism and community engagement are key to preserving these ecosystems. Innovations such as selective breeding of heat-resistant corals and artificial reefs offer new possibilities. Global awareness is also growing. Many individuals and organizations are taking steps to reduce plastic use, choose reef-safe sunscreens, and support marine conservation efforts. By reducing carbon footprints, supporting reef-friendly products, and spreading awareness, we can ensure that coral reefs, these rainforests of the sea, continue to thrive for generations to come. With coordinated global action, the reefs can still be saved, protecting the intricate underwater worlds that support so much of life on Earth. Every effort counts, whether it's policy change at the government level or small choices made by individuals. The survival of coral reefs depends on what we all do next. Coral reefs are more than just beautiful, they're vital to life in the ocean and beyond. But their future depends on us. The more we understand, the more we can protect. If this underwater journey amazed you, don't forget to like the video, Drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more deep dives into our planet's hidden wonders. Thanks for watching, and remember, the ocean's story is our story too.